Hey there, in this segment I'm joined by Ducky. Ducky, how you doing, my man? How long have you been rapping?
6 months.
6 months?
A little longer.
Our job at the Rap Institute is teach people how to rap better and faster. You guys' job is to teach what?
How to drive fast.
We're gonna break down the entire process and hopefully get you rapping bumpers in no time.
There's no easy way of getting out of those things.
So it all begins with design. If you get a wrong design, it's really gonna box you in as an installer because you have to line a lot of stuff up. Right. So the design that we created via XIX is the idea is that it's just a very blank palette, which is awesome. So it has your logo and branding in it, which is nice, but it's not overly done, so it makes it easy to install, but also easy to add on and take off. We chose the right material, so we got General Formulations 830. It's a cast film, super flexible, and the lamination we have on top is very thin. But what's behind hardware, especially this cart, is dirt.
Yeah.
So the idea is you take the hardware off first and then you start cleaning and prepping, right? So I usually have a 5-minute rule. If it comes off in 5 minutes, great. If it doesn't come off in 5 minutes, leave it on. But you know how to pretty much take everything off in 5 minutes. Right. So that's a strength. All right, hardware's off. And so for cleaning right now, we're gonna use the rinseless wash, 1/3 of a cap. So in this case, it's a little dirty. I'll put a little bit more in there. And the idea right now is just to be extra patient. Put extra focus in here because we're wrapping with that section open. I just kind of let it sit for 30 seconds. That's nice and dusty. I don't know why that would be dusty. All right, so if I look here, that looks pretty dirty. So I'm gonna rotate it to another side and just do it one more time. If you feel the surface, it's actually very effective. Like it gets it super, super clean, super quick.
Oh no. Ah!
I'm gonna dig this inside the microfiber squeegee, and then I'm gonna dig it inside this edge, and then I always look to see if it's dirty. Open the door, check that out. That's crazy dirty. So after cleaning, extremely important right now is just to make sure it's 100% degreased. So kind of like what we did on the wall for the different segment. So I'm gonna take it inside here and then focus on the edges and just see how it comes out. So that's not bad right here. Just double check it, and I feel like that's good. So the 360, we're good. Just juice it up like we did before and just wipe top to bottom. And now we get to an interesting step that I think is really important for your car, is either raising the surface energy or lowering the surface energy. And because you have so much damage on your car, there's certain sections that don't have paint, right? So what you can do is you can use adhesive promoter. You always want to make sure you wear gloves for this. You don't want to put on too much because this is going to make the adhesive kind of tack a little harder. So I just want to put it on key spots where I think the material needs to stick a little bit more. Don't use much because it's going to make removing really, really hard. I noticed that here, there's a little bit of silicone, so I'm gonna put a little loop. The Triple S can come in really handy right now on key spots. And I'm just gonna put it on the body line. And what this does is it allows the material to kind of slide off this area during the install, and it just makes it a little easier. And then sometimes what I like to do is I already like to put it on the windshield. This is probably the best window cleaner that I've ever used. But what's nice is when we do the roof or when we do the sides right now, if the material touches the glass, it won't stick and we can pick it back up. All right, the car is ready to rock and roll, and we are gonna start off with the hood. By starting on the hood, because it's easy, you gotta get your muscle memory going, but you also see how the materials, you know, are you happy today or are you sad today? Based on temperature, humidity, and stuff like that. What I like to do right around the corners is put a little bit of masking tape right to there. So as we take the material and kind of hook it in, it slides easily and doesn't get any tension. Now this area here, we're gonna place a piece on top. So we don't wanna wrap all the way inside a section that no one's gonna see because that takes too much time. We're gonna run knifeless tape here all the way across to this edge, and we're gonna take the material just to there. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, just straight enough. While you're taking the hardware off, cut all these panels into shape. So we got the front bumper, back bumper, passenger side, driver side, hood, and roof. Laying flat on the table, this is the General Formulations cast film, and you're gonna find that it's super easy to put on. Check this out. So this seems like a lot, but it's gonna be very easy to put on, just like we did the wall and the floor, spot graphics. And this was actually designed on XIX, and XIX is a really cool visualizer, and they have a new feature now where on XIX you can just import a file, vectorize it, make spot graphics, and then just send it to your printer one-to-one. It's gonna save you a lot of time. First, I just want to see what this looks like. Oh, this is the roof, I think. We got this print on here. So if you notice, the designer just kind of faded out to white here, and then the sides will match up here. We do want to make it somewhat
centered.
This is kind of a straight line from here. And we can line that crease up with the rear view mirror in the front. Because we can't use magnets on the hood, right? We'd like to. So we can use magnets on the fender. If we stretch it to here, we got about an extra 3 or 4 inches down here. We got an extra 5 inches. So it kind of fades up, and just right about 1 inch past it goes to white. So we took some time to make it centered and straight. We care about making this centered and straight. I'm gonna make some marks here with a pen so we know that it's centered and straight. We have a lot of excess material here, here, and here. So I can come up to here. And again, I got that 3 inches to here, and I'll do that across. I'm gonna come through here with a vacuum paper cutter. So what we're doing is, by aligning the graphics and spending the time to do this right now, it's going to save us a lot of time during the install. I'll take this. I know what you're saying, but I'd rather not lose the placement.
Yep.
Cool. So we have everything kind of in position. We double check everything. I see this kind of wrinkle here, so I want to kind of flatten that out. And this one, I want to show you a cool one that I like a lot. It's what I call half circles. And I'm just going to pick it up, and I'm just going to tear a half circle out of the backing paper. What I can do is kind of hold the material up, and I can kind of squeegee it onto the surface like this. And now the panel doesn't move. You get that half circle. And then from here, I just kind of hold it flat, and I'm just going to tack it on the surface. And now we don't need magnets. And I'm going to flip the panel in half. If the liner comes off nice and smooth, and I'm going to cut it in a circle right now. I can take it now and I can fold it. And why that's cool is, when I go to pull the next panel, I just pull the tab and it comes off nice and easy. Every panel we do today, the liner only goes under the car, never goes in the trash, and you'll be surprised at how that saves a lot of space.
Got it.
Right, cool. So I'm gonna pick it up and relax it to here. And right now I only squeegee where there's no wrinkles. So the only place that doesn't have wrinkles is right in the
middle.
So I pick this back up, and I got that recessed area in the middle. So I have my line and it's locked in place. So it relaxes right now, and I'm gonna stand behind here, and I put my fingers on top, and I simply just pull to the corner, and I lock it on the surface right there. And then down here, I see some more wrinkles. Pick up the material, and I'm gonna pull really hard. You see how I kind of squat?
Yep.
Pull down really firm to here. And while it's firm right now, I can now squeegee. I'm actually squeegeeing this hard. Ready, stand. Yeah? If I don't squeegee hard enough right now, the material kind of flows. Do you see some wrinkles?
Yeah.
That says stop, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna pick up the material, I'm gonna hook the corner first, and then I'm gonna pull the material, and where are the wrinkles? They're gone, right? So there's this recess area here, and I wanna form the film in. Because this is cast right now, I can heat the film. It's kind of wrapping the recessed area already, and it shrank a little bit. I'm gonna do the palm technique, and I take my hand right in the recessed area, take my finger right to there, and watch what I do. Just come down and over, right to the edge here, and
wow.
Nice and easy, huh? I can just make those bubbles go away by just adding pressure. And then the final thing I do now is squeegee the side to make sure it's nice and uniform, and we're good.
You make it look easy.
That's my job, right? But my job is to help you wrap it easy as well. Now, this is a nice place to grab, is you can hold the liner and the material at the same time and flip it over. So just pick it up nice and high and walk it over. Super, super low and flat. Yep, and then just right from there, pull really hard, low and flat. Yep, and just trust it. Pull hard, 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 and good, right? I want you to pull super hard that way. All even with it. 1, 2, 3, and boom. And what do we have?
Glass.
Boom. And now you have glass. Awesome, excellent. Yep, you stopped right where the wrinkle was. And right now I see that you're really cooking right now. The main thing is just get that squeegee angle and you're flowing and going. Do you feel like your squeegee's grabbing right now?
Nope. Oh yeah, creased it a little bit here.
So that crease right now, watch what you can do. You can use your fingernail, magic. Cool, all right. Cool. So I would say just go slow back and forth like you're squeegeeing. A little closer. So the slower you go, the more it relaxes. If you don't see the wrinkles disappear, then something's wrong. So you really want to see it shrink into the car. I'll keep it open for you. So just kind of
all the way from the top?
Yep, all the way from the top. There you go. Cool. And that air should just be coming out nice and easy and looking good. So just let it open just a little bit to breathe. There you go. And just take it all the way in. So check out the surface for any wrinkles and stuff like that. So the harder you squeegee, the better. And just slice it. You'll be pleasantly surprised how that material just relaxes right now. So your fingernail is one of the best squeegees you got. And this is a pretty big bubble, so watch what I do. I'm just gonna take my knife and I'm gonna make a little hole and then see if you can take the air out of it. Yep, excellent. Is right here, we have a lot of material bunched up. So you see the tension here?
Yep.
And there's a lot of tension here. So instead of fighting this tension, I'm gonna take advantage of the cast film. And I'm not pulling right now, I'm just having my finger here. What it does right now is it really relaxes the film on a deep level. I just lay it on and now the material has no tension and it's minimal effort. So that's the technique of the reference suit we call zero stretch. I take the heat gun on the highest setting and I just go slowly back and forth and lay it down on the surface, and I'm barely pulling, just a little nudge. And what the heat does is if there's any air trapped underneath the film, it's gonna show as a bubble. But what this also does is kind of makes the adhesive stick better on the surface. So once everything's good, you double check for bubbles, you don't see anything major thing, now we get to cutting. What you wanna do is you wanna have the tension on all the edges 100% the same. And the best way to do that is do a 360 with heat and pressure. And you have to go slow. So if I take my time right now, all that tension on the edge kind of shrinks right there. But the biggest thing is right now, I know for 100%, exactly right there, the material wrinkled right there because it wasn't 100% on the edge. So that tells me now, just in that loop, now that that's set, I'm good. So the idea right now is you always click your blade, and instead of overstretching it, I like to cut the corner very cleanly like that. And then what I do is I come back to this section here. I'm cutting on the side of the hood, but I angle my knife slightly away. I get a little bit of excess material that wraps around the edge. 1 inch on either side. I'm gonna cut up to this corner. So for me, I personally always like to cut my corners first. I run my finger around the edge, and then I go to this corner. If you do the corners last, you're gonna get lots of wrinkles. The reason why it's not gonna shrink is if I relax it before I cut. And if I heat it beforehand, it doesn't have tension. Make sense? Yeah. So that allows me to really wrap super fast. And I finish with heat. So if I stop, I do the corners first, stop, do the corner first, stop, do the corner first. You can see that zero wrinkles on the corner. We're not quite done because we got this right here. How much tension's here? A lot. We could play drums on this. Where we want to take the material in about, let's say about 1 inch. Here, I like to, just like we did when we trimmed the panel ahead of time, I like to trace it like that so we don't come up short. So how far is my knife out? Just like a little bit. So what I can do now is I can push it on the surface right now, out of the surface, and I can pull that away. By adding heat to the film, I'm actually shrinking any tension in it from the manufacturing process and also when they laminate it. So now I pick it up and I take my application glove and I feed it in. What I want you to appreciate right now is look at my finger. I'm pushing the material into the deepest part. I'm actually pushing really hard right now. See how it's floating there? And I'm gonna hit it one more time. And this time I'm gonna press a little harder. Bubble is an indication of tension in this area. So I wanna make sure I let that tension out and form it in. And I run my finger right here to the knifeless tape. I'm gonna cut out the middle sections first here. And I'm gonna cut this away here and here. And I release the knifeless tape to this side, take that out to there. So as you can see right now, by picking the material up, is there tension there?
Yeah.
But if I hit it with heat, how cool is that? Right to there. I pull this low and flat away. I'm just gonna add heat to make sure that the edge is sealed. And what this does is it really makes it active in that recessed area and stick. I'm just gonna hold it off the surface to make that cut. That looks good. And then the only section here that needs to be cut out is you guys are gonna put the nozzles back in. So I start here and then I take this out. So I can even come through under here.
Very nice to watch you do. Yours are like seamless. I have always struggled. I always heat and then try to like pull it around.
Sure.
And obviously you create tension like that. Now that you say that, it makes sense. It's just like, once you said it, it clicked. Like, that makes sense.
And that makes me happy, and that makes the wrap suit super happy. Now we are gonna wrap the trunk. And if you wrap this in one piece, even for myself, it's hard. And the reason why is just such a gigantic compound curve right now. You have this giant spoiler. And because it sits so flush up here and covers the whole thing, we are gonna wrap this in 2 pieces. I think it's a good idea if we wrap the bottom and then we put the top on top so it holds. So we're gonna actually have the overlap up here. So it doesn't have to be super, super symmetrical because that spoiler is gonna sit on top. So I wanna kind of sneak it a little bit under the spoiler. So right now the design comes up to here. So now the roof is where it needs to be. So if we look here on the trunk right now, it kind of fades to white down to here. Or do you want it to go a little lower?
I would want it lower, yeah.
So you're feeling good about that? Can we use magnets here? Let's see. So why don't you stand back there and say if it needs to go left to right?
Yeah, my side needs to go down. And then it needs to come towards you like a lot.
So this is the bottom section here. So just like we did earlier, I kind of creased it. So now we know how to cut it at the bottom. Because the spoiler's going here, we don't have to match it up, which is cool. I'm gonna run through here and I'm gonna cut it so we have enough for here, so when we come down with this, we're not gonna be short at the top.
Right.
Right now, I'm gonna cut this off. Leave it right now, I'll hold this. Awesome. We can shift this up to here. You see how easy the liner comes off? Super easy. And we're just gonna kind of get it in place, because what we have to do is make sure, again, it's in the right, if it's centered right now. I feel like maybe it's a little to your side a little bit. All right, I make those marks. And let's pull those marks, and let's make this mark come to here.
Okay.
And because this has to be somewhat centered, left to right, I'm gonna pick this up and I'm gonna squeegee straight down. I'm pulling, I'm spreading the material out, and I pull nice and hard. And as I do that, I see these wrinkles, which I don't like. So I'm gonna pull those wrinkles a little higher and adjust it out. Do you see that?
Yep.
And from here, I squeegee there. Pull and adjust yours. You're doing great. That's really good. Right? I'm just gonna continue to squeegee. I take the material up and I squeegee to the side, and I'm just gonna do overlapping squeegee strokes. And I'm pressing hard. If I get bubbles, I can press those bubbles out. And my free hand is just gonna kind of hold it off the surface, and that takes all that tension out of the film and actually kind of wraps that top section for me. I'm gonna gently stretch it just to the knifeless tape. I can squeegee it. Yeah, good. There, you see the air is a little trapped here. So what you can do is just pick it up. There you go, cool. So let that air out. Yep, good. So the idea is to hold it off the surface nice and light and just heat it slowly from above, like below. And maybe heat a little higher, closer to your finger. Pull it to the top surface. Yeah, very good. Cool, perfect. Fold the knifeless tape and the material on itself. I pull the string and just keep it low and flat. As long as you pull perpendicular, you're good. Keep it perpendicular. And then always when you take it, I'm gonna seal the deal to make sure that edge is nice and tight, and we're good. So notice I hit it with heat to relax it.
Yep.
I'm taking my knife, I'm angling my knife away. I slowly cut to the corner, I stop, slowly cut to the corner, and I stop. I'm gonna cut it away to here. So now it's gonna be much easier to open the trunk. Yep, and try to do your corner first, just nice and clean. Yep, very good. Cool, and then cut to the corner. Good, awesome. And we're gonna just hold the patella up to here. And just relax the material. Hold here, and I want you to gently pull to your corner. Right? So I can take it onto here. You got this kind of raised object. Pull, 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 and you see the difference?
Yep.
Nice and easy, and just kind of squeeze it around there, and perfect. Now we got that. Good to go. Cool. And see how I can kind of slice those bubbles out?
Yep.
I'm gonna go super, super slow. I set it up on the bottom edge. See how there's no tension here? I'm gonna use my free hand, and I'm pulling towards you actually. So my free hand makes adjustments. My free hand makes adjustments. And because this is gonna get a spoiler on top, I wanna add a little extra overlap. Good to go. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you get it. And this doesn't have to be pixel to pixel because we're gonna be putting that spoiler back on top, but we want it fairly close. And then we'll trace it to here. We don't have to line it up pixel to pixel, which is great. Yeah, perfect for that. Cool. Let me do. The window is super easy to clean. Awesome.
I'm straight over here.
Cool. All right. I'll squeegee my side, you squeegee your side. So I lock it with that hinge, and I'm gonna pull nice and tight for my side. It's up to you what you do with yours. And then just firm overlapping squeegee strokes. Blast it out. Doing awesome. So right on the knifeless tape, I just want to relax it. Same thing we'll do on the edges. I'm going to double check for any kind of bubbles. Release the knifeless tape generally first before you cut the sides. So now I start to see a flow. I start to see you get the good habits going. I run my finger to seal the deal, and then I can finish the sides. Awesome. I'll take the marks off the window. I'm basically making a relief cut. So now that relax the material a little bit, so I wait like a pause, and I'm just gonna tuck the material into the base. And I angle it right into the base, like at a 10-degree angle. And you can tell that this keyhole has seen better days. So now, the main thing is now, I take it to the base, use my squeegee to tuck it in, and we're good. All right, so we're gonna flip it over, just kind of shake it. Awesome. And then that makes it easier now to flip it this way. So we can kind of just like shake it a little bit and just lay it down, pick it up so it goes. Cool. Pick it up to the hinge, and I want you to just kind of shake it, and that's good for now. So do you see those wrinkles build up where I heat it? Those wrinkles have that shape of a pyramid. So what it's doing right now is, because I'm lightly guiding the material to the corner, so I'm not stretching the material, I'm kind of shrinking it. And when I get it to this stage here, I kind of shake it and I kind of let it sit. I'm going to squeegee just this outside and give it space. You can see how it just relaxes completely without stretching. But the reason why we like this heat gun from Weldy is it puts out a nice soft wide heat, and it just makes it so much easier to get onto the surface. Other heat guns get a little too hot. So I've kind of reformed the film in so it's just got a nice good curve. So I'm basically making a cut here. So I have it formed on top. I run my finger, and the biggest thing is now watch. We kind of slowly relax it around, so it's taking the tension out. Because when I made that cut, it took the tension out a little bit. I know all the material wants to go into here, so I can kind of squeegee it this way. So I'm kind of shifting the tension out to here. The only reason I'm wrapping this right now is the XIX logo goes onto this section here. Now, if the XIX logo didn't go onto this section right here, I actually honestly would have cut this out and not wrapped it. So for next time right now, if we would have done this as a cutout overlay, we could have put the XX here, we could have put a little bit here. And you can see every time I feel like there's tension, I add heat. So I don't force the material on, I try to relax it as much as I can. So then I run my finger and I just try to make it clean. I'll do the backside here. So it's the same thing. This is called a beveled in cut. So if you see the tip of my blade kind of running alongside the edge, but not on the edge, just alongside it. By angling in, I get a little bit of extra material. So now you can see that by making that cut now to see how much the material kind of relaxes closer to the surface.
Oh yeah.
And after this, I'll do a kind of a zero stretch demo for you so you better understand it. And then I run my finger here. So now when we have drones coming tomorrow. When they come here now, the G of the
will be full.
It'll be full. But this is plastic, so would this last 2 months? No. But will it last a day? For sure. Now for the side prep. This thing is Ep.2 crap, and I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive promoter there, but basically anywhere there's exposed, the only thing that we're gonna keep on is the Rally Ready here.
Yeah.
That's the only permanent graphic, and it's crooked. So what I had the designer do is print some extra stuff up here so we can actually put that in the door handle. Rally Ready is gonna come up a little higher through the door handle. I'm gonna start setting some magnets on it just to kind of hold it in place. And you could do the same thing on your end. We can raise it a little bit more, but now we're going to
get into the door handle. Maybe just raise it up just a touch.
It's really close. So I'm actually going to drop it just a little bit. I'm going to pull really hard and you spread it out.
Okay.
We're going to spread them out this way. So I'm going to pull with triangles and you're going to pull straight.
Got it.
So as hard as you can.
Yep.
Hard, 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 hard. Squeegee, okay, in the middle and kind of lock it in. And watch the wrinkles go away.
Yeah, wow.
That's pretty cool, huh? So I'm kind of pulling straight down to the corner. You're going to see it kind of form to the surface. If you see my left hand, I'm pulling to the corner. I'm not pulling hard, but I'm kind of guiding the material. And I'm going to lock it in right to here, and I'm going to lock it below so it holds its shape. So we kind of framed it like the raised objects there.
Yeah.
Right to there. And I lock it on here, and then I kind of make it smiley. So the idea right now is I want to relax it. I'm first going to take the heat gun and see, as that heat, do you see those wrinkles?
Yep.
So that's an indication that there was tension in the film. While it's still a little bit warm, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to frame it to the deepest part of the recessed area here, and I'll just do a loop, and you see how nice and yummy that went. I want to squeegee that air out immediately, and I go nice and slow. but does it look like I'm pressing hard right now?
No.
Because if I press hard, I'm stretching the material.
Understood.
I'm not gonna wrap inside the keyhole because it's a commercial style, so we don't go too deep. You don't have to wrap it in one piece. So for example, what I'm trying to say is like right here on the back fender, it literally connects to the rocker panel and goes across. So theoretically, you have to wrap that in one piece, right? Especially for what you guys are doing, this is a really good tip. This is gonna get beat up all the time. So that means that if you wrap this in one piece and it gets beat up, theoretically, you're gonna have to replace the whole side of the car. You don't wanna do that. You have to make this replaceable. Now, theoretically, they always say the overlap should never go up because water builds up on there. But in this case today, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make the overlap face up. The reason why is this is now replaceable. Bring it to the surface all the way across to here. So I don't have to get it pixel to pixel, I just have to get it close. Heat it and see if it shrinks. I can just kind of pull low and flat, and by taking that tension out. So by doing that now, and we've created the hinge, chillax the material, wait for it to cool one beat, and then I can slide it under, and now everything matches up. But the biggest thing is as this gets beat up, which it will, now you can replace it, and you have peace of mind. It also makes the install faster.
Yeah.
Cool. One of the hardest parts to wrap is the top. See all these wrinkles down here?
Right.
Because we're so focused on the body and getting around the door handles, the material generally bunches up a lot there. Right in the middle, basically, I pick the material up and I come down here, and right when I get to here, I pick up the material from here and I'm gonna cut it about 2 inches above where the A-pillar is. And now I can fit it with comfort here and here, and this is my little sneaky relief cut. The design is white on white. Yep. I don't have to worry about matching it up. I want you to pull straight along this edge and see if you can make a lot of those wrinkles disappear. Right to there. So grab at the bottom, grab at the top. With 4 fingers here, pick it up nice and wide, pull like that. Your left hand's gonna pull this way and your right hand's gonna pull this way. Then you're gonna pull as hard as you humanly can. Harder, 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 and bring it to the surface. And does that look happier?
Much happier.
So right where the wrinkles are, you stop. But right here you have some wrinkles, and you have a lot of wrinkles here.
Yep.
So how can you make those wrinkles disappear, do you think?
You could just pull it here and then just heat it.
Exactly. Gently pull it down, pull it down. Oh, cool, that helps. Nice and gentle. Take it to the surface now. And then by doing that right now, okay, does it look a little happier?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Pick it up just a little bit, just to allow that air to escape. There you go. Take it in the deepest part though, and press hard. Hard, 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 go, 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 go. So you have a little bit of air here.
Yep.
So this air is trapped. So how do you get that out?
Put a little hole in.
I put a little hole in it, sure, again. So now I do that and stop. Now take your heat gun and heat it up, and that hole will actually disappear, right? So now we're good to go. And now I'm gonna take the material up to here and just get it right to the wheel well itself. So if we just take the material and just push it in, it's gonna overstretch. I'm gonna run my finger here, top to bottom. See those wrinkles there? Yep. Let's see what happens. But that's actually a good thing because there's certain sections on the car that want wrinkles. Now that it's relaxed, I can just gently bring it to the surface. I shake it, a lot of those wrinkles disappear. And then here I still feel some tension, so watch what I do. I cut it back again to take a little bit of the material away. Let's see if it shrinks. I can take my squeegee and look how easy that goes down.
Again, you make it look easy.
That's my job. But hopefully, you know, your team will make driving look easy. You've already given me some great tips and tricks, which is awesome.
Yeah.
We are now at tricky section. We got the recessed areas here, which I'm going to show you some cool techniques for. The biggest thing is these edges. They're super, super rough. We could even get it stylish. We can do like a strip of yellow or something like that.
Got it.
Just to accent it, because if we take it all the way to the edge, there's a high chance of it lifting right now.
Yeah, I've done a couple bumpers and they've never been fun.
And what I can do is open a mouth here, and I can take it and I can slide it through the film, and I could peel the other half to there, and boom. So I take it off all the way to here. And what would you do in this situation?
Normally what I would do is would just continue to start middle, pull back to the wrinkles, heat it, and just like slowly fold to the corner.
Okay. And that's kind of probably how I'm going to drive tomorrow, is just drive super. And I want you to kind of just pull nice and firm. That was perfect. So you can see those pyramids, that shape of the wrinkle right now is perfect because it's conforming to the car. Come closer to the car, keep on coming closer, very good. Because what you're doing is you're stretching the film while I'm shrinking the film. Boom. And I'm just gonna anchor it in place. So we just have to get it to this side with as minimal tension as possible. And those wrinkles there are good because that tells us there's tension in there. So what we can do is pick it back up to where there's no tension and watch what I can do. I can add heat and this is gonna shrink the film, gently take it to the end and squeegee. And this is what we call a tip of the pyramid. It's like a reverse triangle right now. If I add heat, the material is gonna shrink up and in, and the tension is gonna stay here as opposed to the edge. Look at my left hand, I'm not pulling at all. I'm just guiding the material. And so it's more of a look and feel thing. As soon as I grip the film and if my fingers start to feel like they're getting tense, something's wrong. All right, Ducky, we are now at the mirror. Because this is kind of a commercial style, we don't have to wrap all the way on the inside to keep it clean and mean, so we're gonna take it right to the edge. Have you ever wrapped a mirror before?
Yeah.
And?
It was hard. Wrinkled a lot.
Did it wrinkle before or after or both?
The whole time.
Let's make it fun to wrap, shall we? This way is we're gonna wrap this in 3 pieces and it's gonna look like 1-ish and it's gonna have a cool design element too. I'm gonna take knifeless tape just on the underside here. If you're standing here, would you see it overlap there?
No.
Cool. So what I want to do is I want to take out any tension that's in the film. So in this case, I'm going to use zero stretch before we put it on the car. Where this tension comes from is the manufacturing process. So when they make the film, there's tension in it. Because now the material is just like cold chilling. Spread that tension out and take it right to the knifeless tape. I can release the knifeless tape, take it up to here and pull it through. Seal the deal, and you can see there wasn't much tension in that. Make sure it's in the groove to here, and then I can cut off on the back side here. And I'm actually just gonna cut it off here on the underside, because if I try to wrap up and in to the face of the mirror right now, that's gonna be a lot of tension. Do you see that recess area?
Yep.
So here, I'm just gonna intentionally cut it short, and I think now that looks nice and clean. Now step number 2 is check this out. And the overlap now is gonna face down, so if it does get dirty, which I guarantee this is gonna get dirty here, so now I'm gonna place knifeless tape on the back side here. Now we have 2 runs of knifeless tape, and we're gonna not wrap the back side here. So we're not gonna wrap here, and we're not gonna wrap the inside portion right to there. So you can see this is the part that sticks high. That's wood, so it doesn't have a very high surface energy.
Yep.
So I kind of pull it into the middle here. Now you see how it's a little kind of sag. I'm gonna zero stretch it on the Rep.2. I come up to here, and you see how it kind of came up a little bit. Cool. I'm trying to bring the material up and under and over, and do you see how it's like acting like an extra set of hands? Kind of like when we did the bumper together, right?
It is.
We still have a little bit of work to do. So there's a little bit of tension here at the bottom, a little bit of tension at the top. So I relax it to here and over to here, and I lock it to here. This right now, I like those wrinkles here because if I take it in, it doesn't stretch the film out. So when you're wrapping, this is a recessed area, and what is it like, or what is its food, is wrinkles, right? And I'm actually gonna pull it down and into the mouth. I can actually cut the material, which is gonna relax it. Gentle heat right now. And I take it right to the knifeless tape. I'm gonna add some heat to lock it in. Then we're good. I've already made a relief cut on the backside, but I see that tension there, so I want to pick it up and I want to relax it. And I'm going to feed it inside here and then take it out to the edge. I can make another relief cut, which is going to make it easier to work into there. And the material wants to wrinkle right here. So if I work this way, I'm going to get a wrinkle. So I take my hand and I kind of pull down and low. And now I'm going to use the hard side of my squeegee to shift that tension and make a little relief cut. And now this section is good to go. Make a nice, good, clean cut on the back side here so it looks nice and symmetrical. If we didn't wrap this bottom side right now, the chance of overstretching that would be really high. If we're not gonna cut it short here, the chance of having tension on the top is really high. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do these corners first. I heat it to my fingers. What I'm doing is I'm shaking the material. I pull it right to here. So do you see this tension here? Yep. So now I hold it off the surface and I add heat. So it spreads out nice and even. And we have great material. So I fold it. That's a little quick, and then it breaks. And it breaks because, oh shoot, I should have pulled this first. So in this case now, I should have pulled this run first because this was on top. So that was my bad. I fold it over, pull this out. If the knifeless tape breaks, what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to cut right on the knifeless tape right in the middle, about 1 inch, and I can start it again. So even if the string breaks, you always have the option to pick it back up. I'm going to give it a kiss of heat. Now, once that smooths out right now, how cool is the fact that now we're wrapped in 2 pieces and you're not gonna see it. Yep. Cut straight on the bottom. Cool. Remember earlier when we were wrapping the side of the car, and on the excess film right here, they put black and yellow. So this yellow is extra, so I went into your cutting table now and I cut this about 1/4 inch, same as the other side. I can now place this, and I'm going to place it right on that edge. I just want to make sure it stays nice and uniform, but it's also what it's doing is it's holding, which is really cool. And this will hold up super, super good for the long term. I just peel this off. Let's take out the final result. And now, again, the beauty of this design, and this design was created on XIX, but the main idea is now we have these spot graphics on top. And XIX just had this new update to their thing, so you can actually create those spot graphics and send them to your plotter and do the whole thing super, super easy and straightforward. And you could actually send these to the client right away with like 3D renderings, the car driving down the road and stuff like that. So it's really next level, taking advantage of all the technology today. The material that we're working with is General Formulations, as this is their calendar film, so it's very budget friendly, so it's going to be cost effective to put on. We're going to use SSS on the surface beforehand, so the stickers will still really adhere, but they're going to come off super easy and won't damage the underside. So SSS is not only a low tax solution, but this should last about 6 months on the car and keep that dirt down, which is really cool. So Ducky, we're going to do exactly what we did on the wall. It's all about just kind of getting an approximation right now, and then you're going to do your stand back and do the gut check. I feel like your side looks good. So, because the wall was matte, if I put a dry erase marker on it, I might absorb it. But in this case right now, we can put this on, and instead of doing a hinge, I'm gonna go full cowboy because we're in Austin right now. So I tack it to here, and I double check that it's in the right position to there. Because it's such a small graphic right now, it's actually quite easy to put on. So by skipping the hinge right now, this saves a little bit of time. So you need some help, or are you good?
Yeah, you need your hand over here. It's just sticky on the vinyl.
And we're actually gonna take the whole liner off, and I like to hold a liner in this case now towards the nose so it doesn't tear. So we see the shape of a triangle right now. Where the triangle is, and I'm spreading that tension out right to here. So now I can just do this and then squeegee it out. Same thing here, see that triangle? Or I'm gonna take it here, I'm gonna squeegee it to the side and down. So what I did is I created a hinge for you here. So we're gonna release the liner low and flat. We can kind of squeegee back and forth and see how I kind of squeegee with an open face, and we can kind of read the wrinkles. Now I'll take off the entire liner. And notice I squeegee at a 45-degree angle.
Right.
Yeah, when we did the wall, we kind of kept it open a little bit more.
Okay.
But on a car, you want to keep it mellow. Feed it into this recessed area.
Got it.
If we feed it into this recessed area, there's no tension here because the material that we're using, this, like when we did the main body right now, we used the General Formulations 830. So that was a cast film, so we bridged it over there, heated it, and formed it in.
Right.
This is their calendar film, so if we do that now, it might pop out.
Got it.
Right, so the idea is you want to feed it in when you can with calendar, push it in when you can with cast, right? Hold it pretty close to where I want it to go, and I tack it right to here. So if I tack it here and then hold it off the surface and bring it down, I squeegee in the middle, and I squeegee with an open face just to double check that it goes down smooth. Squeegee with an open face, and see how I'm using the buffer side?
Yep.
Right? So I do this to get it on the main surface area, and now I use the hard side of my squeegee, but I just see how I angle it so it stays within the application tape. Because SSS is on there, especially with these small letters, I'm making sure to pull a little slower. Final thing, actually, you know, we always say finish strong, like we talked about all the other cells. Wipe it down with SSS, right?
Yep.
That's gonna help with the shine and stuff like that. And especially for your car, there's so much kind of lack of paint on the bottom, it's all beat up. So you wanna put edge seal tape, half on the paint, half on the wrap. Rocker panels, both sides, front bumper, back bumper, and this is gonna help it hold for the long term. And then the biggest thing is aftercare for you guys. So you wanna clean it with that rinseless wash that we talked about. So first wipe it down with rinseless wash, and then you come back with SSS, and that combination, the more you do it, it almost has like a memory on it, so it's gonna be easier and easier to clean. So even though this gets super dirty, within like 5 minutes, you can wipe down the whole car. Right. How was it for you?
Good. Just the way you do it with the hinges is completely different than I've ever done it. It's just like watching you do it and understanding how you do it just changes how I'm gonna continue to do it now.
Now you have better tools. So
oh yeah, you don't have one squeegee to do everything anymore. There's specific things and everything stays clean.
Yeah, you guys are in Austin. Everything's super, super dusty here. It's hot. That's the benefit of being here.
Yeah.
So I would say recommend it, like, especially before install, mop the day before so it's super, super clean. Yep. And then I would say just get some ramps and maybe some side lights or even like some headlamps. So a couple of side, like the side sections, got a little dark, right? And it's so nice that you have your battle station here. You got your printer, your laminator. Yep. That's my advice for you to the future. Do you have any advice for me for tomorrow?
Have fun.
Okay. And today they're going to teach me how to drive fast and how do I feel? I'm pretty nervous actually.
Incredible the way everything is placed.
And then this one I do off the jumps, right? Well, it feels like I'm driving blindfolded. I like to see everyone running out of my peripheral vision. Step up and turn.
Nice! Not knowing anything this morning, that was incredible to watch.